way now we can get a great feel for who they are. The dynamics have been fun. It's been great watching. And then on top of that, here we are. Obviously, it's worked out because we're in our third Super Bowl in the past 4 years with different people.
I was going to say, at the beginning when Patrick started, there was a lot of speed, Tyreek, Cole, Sammy. And now it feels like there's a little more size. Now that Juju and Marquez, tight ends are more involved, with Noah Gray, and Jordan Sports. So is that a strategic approach to it? Is the offense to try to do more, diversify with the weapons?
Well, there you go. We've become more diversified. And what it has done is made teams not focus on just Travis Kelce. Now you got to worry about Quez, you got to worry about Juju, you got to worry about KT. Okay? One of the most unique things is that now you got to worry about the backs coming out the backfield. Then you got to worry about Jody, you got to worry about Noah, you got to worry about Bell. And so Pat has done a hell of a job, okay, with his developmental process. And just finding guys. It's made him a better quarterback because he has become more diverse and more efficient with the football.
Coach, what makes Travis just so important to this offense? What does he like off the field?
He's an important piece of the puzzle. He's a leader. He's a guy that's very intelligent. He don't get enough credit for his football IQ. He works hard. He takes a tremendous amount of pride in his work.
I'll just
And then on top of that,
introduce myself.
he's a great leader. And so those are the things that make him special. And on top of that, he's fun to be around. And so, last but not least, he's also very, very competitive. And he hates failure. And he understands the importance of being accountable to his teammates, but he also understands that, hey, he has to provide the right leadership in order to shine that light on them so they know to follow him. And he'll be that beacon of light to make sure they're going in the right direction.
What makes him able to relate to guys? You don't see that all the time. He's able to relate to guys. Don't look like him or something like that. What makes him able to relate to them?
I'll say this, okay? Football is one of the most unique sports because if you think about it, when you're in that locker room, nobody gives a whatever about what color anybody is, you know? And so, at the end of the day, these guys do this for one particular reason. They want to win, okay? One thing we do a great job of is making sure that our guys can see the big picture, okay? It's not about the personal stats, okay? I always talk to our guys about this. It's about those alphabets, the W and the A, okay? What are you going to do to make sure that we can get that W? And that's all that matters. We also preach, okay, in order to play for us, you got to be accountable, okay? Because indirectly, we all impact each other's lives. So we got to make sure we're doing the right thing. Next thing we got to do, we got to make sure that our guys are committed, okay? Commitment means being all in. The next thing is making sure that they understand you have to work with a consistent and disciplined work ethic. Because if you don't work in our offense, you can't provide for us, you can't play for us.
Good, I'm into
and then,
it. All right.
what are you willing to sacrifice? Not just giving up something, but what are you willing to do to make the next man better? Okay? If you buy into all those different philosophies and those values, those are the things that have helped produce the winning atmosphere that we've had for the past 10 years. And so those are the things that have happened. Those are the things that we provide as a coaching staff. That's what's helped us to be in this Super Bowl within 4 years.
Coach, can you talk a bit about the matchups you're going to face? They play a lot of man coverage. And we know at the start of the year it seemed like, with a lot of new receivers, it was going to take some time to get on the same page between quarterback and receiver. Where are you in that process and assess those matchups against their elite corners when you get man coverage?
Well, I'll say this. It's hard to look at what's taking place in the back end when you got those guys up front. I mean, Hassan, Robert Quinn, Fletcher, Hargraves, who am I missing? Sweat, and then you got Ndamukong Suh, you got Linval Joseph, and I hope these guys will get upset if I forget a name, but those guys do a hell of a job up front. And Darius Slay and Bradbury, they're doing a hell of a job. Big fan of those guys. I've watched them for a number of years do a number of things. But our job is to make sure that we keep our quarterback upright. If we're keeping our quarterback upright, I think our guys, we like the matchups outside. But when it's all said and done with, We just got to make sure that we can keep the quarterback straight. On top of that, we got to be able to run it as well. But this is a great matchup and a great challenge for us. And like I said, the matchups will take care of itself outside on the perimeter if we can handle the front. And we know that's a huge challenge.
Coach, so many great teams in the AFC. You know, you look at the Bills, you look at the Bengals. What's been the key to separate yourself above those two teams this year?
Consistency, okay? Just making sure that we can put consistent behavior on tape. And sometimes that consistent behavior may not be enormous amount of stat numbers. It's about, well, what are you doing in the run game as a receiver to block for Pacheco on the perimeter? Vice versa. What are the backs willing to do, okay, to give the receivers an opportunity in protection so they can come open downfield? On top of that, what are the tight ends doing in the pass and run game, okay, to make it possible for Pat to throw the ball, okay? So it's all about being accountable, but on top of that, making sure that we understand the importance of putting consistent behavior on tape. And if you're consistent with your behavior, it leads to success.
And what's the mutual respect between the Chiefs and those two teams, especially in the offensive front?
Say that one more time. I can barely hear you.
What's the mutual respect between the Chiefs and then the Bills and the Bengals on the offense?
Oh, there's a huge respect. I mean, hell, first of all, Josh Allen, Sean McDermott is his coach. Les Frazier, I know those two guys. Those are two close personal friends. They've done a great job of building that program, building that organization, and there's a huge respect. And then, hell, watching that's taking place in Cincinnati. I played for the Bengals, so I have the utmost respect for ownership. I think the head coach has done an outstanding job since he's been there, Joe Burrow, and just think about the number of players that they have. So you can't help but have respect for those two teams.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What's the best trait about your quarterback, Patrick Mahomes?
His competitive fire. That's what makes him who he is. And don't get me wrong, he has an arm talent unlike many, and he can make just about every throw. He just has a competitive spirit about him. That's what makes him special.
And how do you feel about the breakout season for Isiah Pacheco, a guy from Rutgers of all places?
You know what? I'm not shocked nor surprised. When you turn the tape on, you knew you had something special. Obviously, his stats didn't show a lot, but one thing that you saw is that Pacheco had an attitude and a determined mindset every time he carried that ball. And that same attitude and mindset has carried over into this league. And that's what's made him a productive player. And so watching his development and watching him grow, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I expect him to blossom as he continues to grow in this industry.
Thank you, Coach.
Just have one more call.